This is a comment I got in a short clip where I was saying that video games are a waste of time. It caused a lot of backlash, so instead of ignoring it, I decided to speak more about it. Ever since I was 6 years old, video games were a huge part of my life. I still remember that Christmas when I got my first PC. I was laying down on the floor and screaming from happiness. From 6 years old until around 15, I was playing daily, around 3 hours minimum. And we're talking about all kinds of different games. I was playing Warcraft, World of Warcraft, I was playing Starcraft, I was playing some RPG games like Skyrim, I was playing some Diablo games, most of the Blizzard games I think I have played. I was always a huge fan of Blizzard. From strategies to role-playing games to action games, or also Call of Duty, so shooters as well, Counter-Strike, I mean that's a classic as well. All the popular games that you know, most likely I have played them. When I became 16, I started doing other activities which took away some of my time from video gaming. So it wasn't that dedicated, and it wasn't maybe 3 hours daily, and it was more like 2 hours daily. But again, it was a pretty big number. And then with each year passing, the time for gaming was becoming less and less. After I became around 23 years old, which was actually pretty recently, I stopped playing video games at all because I realized that my goals and what I'm trying to achieve can't fit in video games as well. But let's talk about all the benefits that I got from playing video games, and then we'll jump into all the negatives about it. The first and major benefit that I got from gaming was that I managed to develop my competitiveness. I know that some of you might think that being competitive is not good, but when it's about that healthy competition, I believe it can be beneficial to you. I was always playing games where I could get up my rank higher, play against other players. I was always interested more about PvP games instead of PvE games, and I was always trying to be better and better. I was going for different guides, researches in order to make sure I'm one step ahead of others. Also, they taught me patience and strategic thinking. Most of the games that I was playing required a strategy around them. For example, League of Legends, this is also one of the popular ones that most of us have played, and I wanted to have some kind of a strategy always before going into a different match. And this is helpful, of course, in the real life as well. You need to have some kind of a plan, you need to have some kind of a tactic before you engage in the different activity that you plan to do. And one more was that I was talking with friends. I got to spend some time speaking with them, enjoying the video game that we were playing, and to be honest, these were very good times. We were having a laugh and time was passing by seamlessly. But now let's talk about the negatives. The first and most important one to me is that they can be very time consuming. As I said, 3 hours daily minimum for I think it was around 10 years is way too much, I think. As the video title says, I think I have played more than 14,000 hours, so you might imagine that this is not very good. And the thing is that video games are done in such a way that you need to spend this time, otherwise you just be a mediocre player. And as I said, it developed my competitiveness, so I was never going to be one of those mediocre players. And then related to that, it can also be very addictive. Some people have also compared video games and drugs, and I couldn't say that I necessarily agree with them, but I can see that it can be addictive. When you see your character leveling up, you can see all the progress that you're doing and you get all the higher ranks that you are achieving. It can be addictive because you're winning, you're seeing progress, and who doesn't want to see more and more of that, right? Now, also on the benefit about talking with friends, I also have a negative related about it, and it's the fact that some of the people that you make friends with while playing video games will not be the ones who will be the best support for you in life, and will not be the ones who push you to go ahead and achieve more in life. People realize that gaming is not good for them at different stages of their life, So the people you are playing with might take a little bit more time and you shouldn't be held up by them. And then the biggest negative to me is that eventually you start prioritizing the video game instead of developing your own character and your own skill sets. To me, the negatives outweigh the benefits by way too much, but this is only my opinion. And I have created this opinion based on some scenarios and some different examples that I have seen in my actual life, and here are some of them. I started comparing the time spent playing video games with the time I could spend on my side hustle. When you're playing a video game, it might take you 3 hours to learn the basics of it and get the hang of it. And then when you compare it for your side hustle, in these 3 same hours, you could have went through a whole course and got the basics of a new skill, such as email marketing or some kind of advertising maybe. And then I also realized that if we have big goals, we can't afford wasting even 1 hour of our day. In my case, even that's way too much. I know that some people use video gaming to refresh and get their mindset clear, but you can actually do the same in the gym, and on top of refreshing your mindset, you actually be getting stronger and you have a healthier body. So I think that the gym also outweighs video gaming as well. I know that video games might be a huge part of your life, just like they were in my life. But it's time to start leveling up your real life character instead of your virtual one. Talking about leveling up, make sure you subscribe to this channel because the content coming up will help you with exactly that.